Jaria Digital tells you many different stories of the world. The horrible story about a cat. My late mother was a cat lover. She didn't have many cats at the same time, but she had had one cat all her life. Whenever her cat died or disappeared, she had a new cat. And the name of the cat was the same all the time. It was Francis. It was my late father's name. I had never seen my father. He already passed away when I was born. But I had seen Francis all the time. Mother's cats had the same look. They were black male cats with blue eyes. I didn't like their blue eyes. But my mother loved their eyes. She told me they looked like blue gemstone sapphire. Sometimes those blue eyes stared at me and I felt creepy. And then the cat disappeared suddenly after it stared at me. I loved my mother, but I didn't like her cats. Probably her cats knew it. So they didn't like me either. While I was working in Manila, my mother lived in city of Tacloban. Once a week I called her after work. My mother was always waiting for my call. Because I was her only child. And she was old and lonely. Her happiness is taking care of Francis and talking to me over the phone. In those days I worked at a construction site. I welded the metal plates every day. When I welded them, I saw the blue flames. Sometimes it reminded me of Francis' eyes. The blue eyes. The creepy blue eyes. But I never told my mother that I hate blue eyes. I was afraid of hurting her feelings. One day I got the flu. I was very sick. But nobody took care of me. And I couldn't tell my mother I was sick. I didn't want her to be worried about me. So the first day when I got the flu, and when I called her, I pretended I was okay. On the 7th day since I got the flu, I was really sick. For 1 week, I could not work. I was just in bed to overcome the flu. I didn't go to see a doctor to save my money. And I forgot about calling my mother because I was in pain seriously. At that time, I was almost unconscious. Suddenly my phone started ringing. Barely I picked up my cell phone. It was the mother's call. When I tried to answer it, I heard the cat's high-pitched wailing sound. It was the sound of Francis. I felt like I saw its blue eyes. All of a sudden, the wailing sound stopped. I felt creepy. I was shouting at the phone.
Mother, mother!
But nobody answered. I hung up the phone. And I called my mother. Nobody answered the phone. It was weird. My mother always answered the phone right away. So I called my mother's neighbors. But nobody answered. I kept on calling everybody there. But nobody answered my phone. I was really sick and worried. But I could not go back home. It was raining and I was really sick. It was November 8, 2013. City of Tacloban was gone that day. I didn't know about the typhoon Yolanda. Because I was very sick for 1 week. My mother passed away and her neighbors died too. And probably Francis was dead on the same day. Still, I don't know whether Francis called me or my mother called me. But I still remember the wailing sound of Francis and its blue eyes. Since then, I have studied to become a pastor. Nowadays I pray for my mother and her neighbors every day in my church. I pray for Francis too. God bless us all. We will deliver a variety of issues and knowledge around the world. Thank you for watching Jaria Digital.